Yeah, it's a big spitball. Big old wall filled with spitball somewhere.
That's disgusting. We wrote songs about The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's kind of what this movie is.
Disgusting?
Disgusting.
I'm assuming you've seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2 before.
I have. Like I said last week, after watching Spider-Man No Way Home, we were like, wow, Andrew Garfield was pretty cool. Let's go back. And we watched Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. And the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, that's really, 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 really bad. And on this time, it's really, 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 really bad. But there are some good things in here.
You mentioned, I think it was last week, that there are apologists for the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. I think one of the reasons for that is that this movie is so bad.
Yes, correct. Yeah. I mean, one of the good things, the suit is fantastic.
Yeah, the suit's great. I can't even really complain about Andrew Garfield. It's not his fault.
No, he's pretty good. In fact, I think his Spider-Manning is better in this. Like, there's several moments where he's doing some real good Spider-Man stuff.
He's a lot more quippy, especially in that scene with Paul Giamatti at the beginning.
I did watch, I think it was on TikTok, this guy broke down how many people died in that scene where he's just like quipping with Rhino and he's just barricading through traffic. And he's like, this is your goat? This is your goat, Spider-Man? Look how this guy's dead. This guy's dead. I was like, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Other than that, pretty good Spider-Man stuff.
If only this movie was 90 minutes of this.
If they cut out the beginning with the dad and the mom in the plane and just opened with him falling from the sky and doing his thing, pretty good.
I don't care about Peter Parker's parents.
It's boring. It's stupid. I have a note that says on his briefcase, it says RP. I said more like RIP.
Hey.
That dude's dead. Also, logo out on the laptops. Like throughout this whole movie, it's Sony Vaio, the laptop. And everybody's holding the Vaio logo out on their laptop. Even in the fight in the plane, like the guy's holding onto the laptop and he like turns the laptop so that the camera can see it. And then he like kicks the guy. Nobody's asking for Peter Parker's parents to be espionage agents. Nobody's asking for that.
First of all, it's called Synergy, Andy.
Yeah, S-I-N. Sin.
Very good.
Thank you.
They're doing the same thing they already did in the first movie. We know Peter Parker's parents left him. We don't need to see the actual flashback now.
Yeah. And you know what? To top it all off, there is a deleted scene where at the end of the movie, he's at the funeral, and Richard Parker shows up. And he's like, yeah, I'm actually alive. And I've seen people online who say, it makes the movie better. Shut up.
No, it doesn't.
If you were to make this movie better, the movie would be 15 minutes long.
The length of the movie is a real problem. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it's bloated, brother.
Because they crammed in so much.
Yeah, and like Electro on his own, I don't think he carries a movie as a villain, right? Just generally. I don't think Electro's got that dog in him, right? But here's what they did. They got Academy Award-winning actor Jamie Foxx, an unbelievably talented man, okay? And they were like, hey, Jamie, what we're going to do is we're going to take a big fat duty right on your head, okay? And we want you to do the best that you can with that. And he's like, yeah, but it stinks. I'm covered in your duty. They're like, yeah, dude, just do your best. And he's like, okay. Are you going to fix the gap in my teeth? It's awful. Every single thing with Electro in this movie is awful. His design, awful. The fact that he's this weird, campy cartoon character in this very serious world. He's the only one who's like, Spider-Man cares about me, but nobody cares about me. Like, what were they going for here? It's awful. And then he gets bit and electrocuted by eels? Brother, just have him get struck by lightning.
It would have made a lot more sense. The minute the electric eels come into play, you see them in that tank and you go, they're not going to do this, are they?
No. It's like the Punisher in Daredevil. No. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing here? And like in the comics, he's just a guy, like he's a small-time criminal, and he's like climbing a telephone pole. He gets struck by lightning, and apparently my body just absorbs electricity. That's fine. It's a comic book movie. It's fine.
You can do half of what they did. The idea of getting electrocuted while he's doing work at his job is totally fine. You don't need the electric eels, and you certainly don't need him to become blue. They clearly just watched Watchmen and were like, that's our villain. We're going to do a Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, and they do the exact same thing where he like rematerializes himself like Dr. Manhattan when he explodes. So, not original, not good. The fact that they zoom into the gap in his teeth and you watch it close, like what? Why? Why would that happen?
Also, the Electro suit in the comics is cool. The yellow and green looks good.
Yeah, with
who okayed this design? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they were just going for like edgy, but it
looks silly.
It's awful. It's awful. But like, we spend so much time on that. And not even mentioning, there's like a weird score that they have where it's like orchestral, but also it's got like this new metal like pulse. It's like boom, boom, boom. And you hear a guy like, I'm really mad. I'm really upset. Gonna crash out. It's like, what is this? Who greenlit that?
That is so bad. It's funny because at the beginning of the movie, I have a note where I say, hey, I kind of like the music at the opening. And then that part there's like, gonna be Electro Boy. Here comes shocking. Here we go. And it comes back at the end of the movie, and I'm going, who is this? This is the worst song ever written.
It's like, and like the music is Hans Zimmer. So I feel like they were like, hey, Hans, we got the guy from Korn. He's gonna come in and just start yelling. All right? Just let him do it. And he's like, all right, man. I just don't understand who saw that and was like, that's pretty cool. That's really good.
I don't know who this movie is for.
This movie doesn't know who it's for.
It's for the studio. That's who it's for. Everything. This is Studio Notes, the movie.
Yes, it is. Very good. Excellent. 10 out of 10.
I'm surprised they didn't shoehorn Venom into this.
Yeah. Just make the same mistake twice.
We literally, for some reason, get introduced to Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, and she's
You're
the
not
secretary?
doing anything with Black... Yeah, you're not doing Black Cat. Shut up.
Yeah. And she's like on Harry's side, too. She's like, Harry, I got all this data for you. What? You're supposed to be stealing jewels. What are you talking about?
One thing this movie does so much worse than the Raimi trilogy is the relationship between Peter and Harry. Harry Osborn is not in the first movie, and it's just kind of mentioned that Norman is sick. I don't care about Harry in this universe, and having that scene where they're like, oh, we're actually best buds, you weren't even mentioned in the first movie.
Yeah. And you know what? A better example is Spider-Man PS4, PS5, whatever, where Harry's mentioned throughout, and he doesn't show up at all.
Right.
That's good writing. In this, you could sell that if you got, I'm sorry to say, Dane DeHaan. It's no good. Your performance in this movie is no good. I'm sorry. If you got a better actor, they could have sold this. And if you had better writing, you could have sold this. Because even like when Peter visits him, he's like, hey, man, I know what it's like. You know, you were there for me. Anyway, I'll see you. And he's like, who cut your hair? Some bullshit like that. It's like, and he turns around like, there he is. No. I don't believe it. Okay, again, Andrew Garfield, like we said, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. Matter of fact, I think his New York accent is pretty good in this specifically. But he's doing his best with what he's given here. I feel like Dane DeHaan he's the wrong cast. I'm sorry. It's just bad. It's bad.
He does look like a petulant child.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the look. Even later when he looks like a goblin man, he looks like a goblin man. Sure.
You just have so much in this movie already. Like, because they briefly mentioned Norman Osborn in the first movie, you could kind of do something with this. But then, get rid of Electro.
Right, and also, like, we already did Green Goblin, and it was Willem Dafoe. So, like,
right.
Maybe move on from Green Goblin. Maybe don't do Green Goblin. I would, also, if anything, like, write Electro better, make him a more cunning and interesting villain, make him the whole thing, and he kills Gwen at the end. Like, it doesn't have to be super comic accurate. You didn't do that with anything else. Why do you have to have Green Goblin kill her?
Right, and say what you want about him, but James Franco was a much better new Goblin than this guy.
Yeah, even though that was bad.
Right, but James Franco is a better actor than Dean Cain.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen him really in anything else. He might be great, but in this, bad. This is bad.
The movie opens up at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and right away I'm thinking, this isn't your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm thinking he's gonna stop a bodega robbery, not stopping a truck barreling down Midtown loaded up with plutonium.
Yeah, and did that go anywhere?
Just introduced us to Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, who bookends this?
Hello, Spider-Man!
Yeah. I'm not married to Rhino. I don't care. So, like, them changing Rhino, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
The design of Rhino is fine. It's silly as hell. Objectively, at the end, when it opens up and it's just like a little head in this giant thing.
Yeah.
But again, you're not going to do a comic accurate, like, it looks so silly if he was wearing a latex Rhino suit.
Right. And his whole thing is that he just runs through stuff. It's like, okay, I mean, whatever.
Rhino would not be able to carry a movie.
No, and that's why I'm fine with the way they used him. I'm fine with that. Like, I was okay with this movie, even with the airplane scene. Like, if like that's a horrible way to start the movie, and like right away I was rolling my eyes. But then that scene where he's
real quick, the airplane scene. It is pretty cool when Richard Parker shoots the window out and all the other windows blow out. It's just not a Spider-Man movie.
Right. But you know what? Didn't The Dark Knight Rises just happen? Yeah. They were like, hey, let's do that. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
The plane happens and I'm rolling my eyes, right? But then it's just, we get the title card, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then he's falling and his suit's flapping in the wind a little bit. And then he's swinging and then he's quipping. And he beats Rhino, and he's already late for graduation, right? And Gwen's making her speech. I'm like, okay, this feels like Spider-Man, you know? Is it perfect? No. The suit looks great. He's doing Spider-Man stuff. He saves all the people in the bus, which was cool. Really like that. And I was like, okay. Yeah, maybe we got a movie here. And then this movie just shits the bed, man.
Gwen Stacy is all upset that Peter is not at graduation. You know he's Spider-Man.
Yes. Now, he also does not tell her everything, which... Because, like, if he's like, I'm saving a bunch of people right now, she'd be like, oh, yeah. But he's just like, I'm kind of in the middle of something. It's like...
You know what, Gwen? Use your brain. Obviously, he's out of breath and running. He's probably doing Spidey stuff.
Yeah, most deaf.
For this to work, she can't know he's Spider-Man.
I don't know. I kind of
not
like
yet, at least. I'm strictly talking about the scene at the graduation.
Oh, okay.
I get very hung up in these movies when people know someone's a superhero, but they still expect them to just live a normal life for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how that works anymore, and movies have to understand that. Like, if all of a sudden my partner became a superhero, I understand life is going to change.
Yeah, it's truth. In the bedroom.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think there's really anything wrong with Gwen Stacy in this movie. I think she kind of nails it. Sometimes I get a little too, like, flirty, and it's just like, okay, let's go, guys. I know you're in love. Got it. But other than that, I think everything with Gwen is pretty good, and I like, here's what I like. I like her speech. Her speech is very good. And apparently, Emma Stone, like the director, was like, you write it. And she was like, okay. And she wrote the speech. It's very good. And the fact that, like, I think everything in the clock tower, from the clock tower to the very end of the movie, is, like, really, really good. Like, where she dies, spoiler alert, for this over 10-year-old movie, she dies. And it's really because he couldn't save her. So he let down Captain Stacy, who he sees throughout the movie, which I thought was a good touch as well. And then they go to the funeral, and I was like, they should show him there. Like, just looking at him, like, that would have been great. But they didn't. The end where he's like, man, I lost all hope. And then he puts on her speech, and she's like, you got to be Hope. And he's like, that's right, I'm Spider-Man. And then he, like, goes to that kid. I mean, here's the problem with that. Why'd you bring your kid to this firefight in the street?
The kid goes out to step in front of Rhino. And these cops do nothing to save that kid. The cops were going to let Rhino squash this kid. That kid was going to become jelly if Spider-Man doesn't step in. The cops have to at least let the mom in so she becomes jelly also.
Yeah. I mean, the cops are just spoiled by Spider-Man at this point.
My biggest problem with Gwen Stacy in this movie is her and Peter Parker break up like 6 times and then just keep getting back together. You don't need to do that throughout the movie. Peter feels guilty about dating Gwen after promising Captain Stacy he wouldn't. You're making the choice. Just don't. I'm looking at the runtime of this movie at 2 hours 20 and I'm going, I don't need multiple scenes of Gwen and Peter breaking up.
But I like that it's because they're in love, right? And they're like, he's like, but he said, and she's like, but I make my own choices. And that's like, they're conflicting, but I agree that they're like on and again, off again, too much. It's just do the big breakup, and then the big get together.
Doing it multiple times is wasting my time.
I do like the setup on the bridge where he writes the big I love you in web. And the setup is, I'll just go with you to England. Like, that's cool. And they're like, yeah, great. So we figured it out. We're going to be together and we're going away. So it's like a new start. Hey, great. But then it's like crime. And he's like, oh no, I got a Spider-Man. And I did like how the whole Electro fight, you kind of like biting your nails because Gwen shows up. And he's like, why are you here? I like how he's fuming. He's like, what are you doing? And like, even when Electro like shoots some electricity, he sees Captain Stacy standing there just like, and I'm like, ooh, that's good. Like, is she about to die? And they kind of fake you out, like, because they beat Electro. But then the Goblin guy shows up out of nowhere. And he's like, hey, you remember me? I did it. And he just steals the show, I guess. I don't know. It's really ham-fisted, but again, once it's in the clock tower, the tension, the fight is good. The tension where she's like holding on and then the gear is shifting, it's about to, it's like unrelenting. It's just nonstop and it's really, 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 really good. And I really wish that they put that much effort into the rest of the movie because everything else is poop duty crap.
You put way too many reallys in front of the word good there, dude. You could have enjoyed it, but I would not describe anything in this movie as even really good.
I think that scene is fantastic, and I think everything that follows, other than the kid running out because mom was like, "Oh, I hear there's a firefight on 51st and 3rd. Let's go." And the kid runs out. I like that Spider-Man shows up. He's like, "Hey, thanks for being Spider-Man for me." Like, that's very Spider-Man. And then he just like clearly just wipes the floor with Rhino. I like the way that ends. I liked all of that. It's just everything else in this movie is really bad. But I really, really enjoyed everything from when they kill Gwen to the end of the movie.
That last Rhino fight was the trailer for the movie.
I know. I remember watching commercials, like, it was like Amazing Spider-Man 2, and like, you show her falling, and then you show him crying. Like, I was like, oh, they're killing Gwen Stacy in this one. Like, you gave it away in the commercial, yeah. But, I don't know, I think it's really well done. I don't know, I haven't even really looked at my notes here, man. Aunt
May is starting nursing school at 60 years old. You don't need Aunt May in this movie. I don't need, at the end, she's working at the hospital and she's like a hero in the hospital. I don't care.
Yeah.
Ben's dead. He's not doing anything with May at this point. Let's move along. Although, I like, at graduation, she's like, I wish your uncle was here. And he's like, and my parents. And then later on, they're like fighting. And she's like, no, I changed you. I was the one who watched you. Stop idolizing your dad, your deadbeat father who left.
Yeah, that was a good scene, honestly. I wrote here, damn, Sally Field. She says, you're my boy. Like, damn, that's that good Sally Field stuff that the first one lacked. They finally did it here. But again, it's like, it's just like, hey, I'm still here.
Does BJ Novak's character get any comeuppance?
No.
He's the whole reason Max Dillon becomes Electro. And then he's just out of the movie. I thought for sure we were going to get a good death scene for BJ Novak. No.
Yeah, they should have made him like that weird doctor. It was like, I am
would have been
German.
Something.
Yeah.
I do like when Max Dillon has a vision of him attacking BJ Novak.
Yeah, and then it just cuts to him. He didn't do that. I was like, okay.
Well, do you remember what he was yelling at him?
No.
Because Novak was like, I'm Spider-Man. He's like, no, you're not. You're a Sagittarius. Spider-Man's a Leo. Again, I'm not complaining. He's a weird dude. He's oddly obsessed with Spider-Man. He has this whole thing where he creates a scenario where Spider-Man brings him a birthday cake.
Yeah, and I don't like all that. I don't like any of that. I don't like how he's like...
What's the point of it?
Right, but he's like clearly mentally ill. But it's like, it just doesn't, like, when you're that cuckoo, like how are you holding down this really important science job? You know, like, I don't know.
He seems to be a high-level scientist, but I'm supposed to believe he's just some broke guy.
Right. I don't get any of this. Like, and people are just like, they stole his grid, like his electrical grid for the city, and he's just like, oh, all right.
That's enough. Like, having this guy who's a scientist, having his idea stolen and used, and him not getting the credit, and then him getting tricked and getting electrocuted and becoming Electro is a good enough backstory where we don't need his obsession with Spider-Man.
How do you feel about the scene in Times Square?
It's bad. I don't like this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like how he learns that he can't just web Electro because he'll blow out his O-ring. I like that. I like that he saves all the dumb people on the staircase who run up a staircase to nowhere. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you still here?
the escalator to nowhere.
Yeah.
You were talking about that song before.
Yeah.
I wrote down here, who the fuck is speaking Parseltongue to Electro? Oh, it's an awful song.
Yeah.
I did get a pop out of Spider-Man wearing the fireman's hat.
Yeah, and I like that he knows the fireman. Like, he's like, by name, he's like, thanks, Frank. It's like, that's good. That's good Spider-Man stuff because he's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's good.
Peter Parker is supposed to be a genius. He's supposed to be an excellent student. His research skills are piss poor. He goes on Google, not Bing, like the first one. He's on Google now. He types in, "What is Roosevelt?" Really, dude? And then he gets all these, and he's like, huh? You thought you'd Google what is Roosevelt, and the first thing that was going to come up was going to be the research your father was doing? Why would you do that? Why would you think that?
He's a savant in other ways, Robbie. He's also very
It is very real that he's watching YouTube videos to learn about electricity. But again, isn't he supposed to be a genius?
You could be a genius in one facet, but, you know, like you could be an incredible plumber, but you don't know a lot about electricity. And as we know, Spider-Man's a great plumber.
Exactly. The first time we hear the Spider-Man theme as his ringtone is fun. It's not an Easter egg if you play it throughout the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm egregious.
Also, fuck you with that itsy bitsy spider stuff.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. That's rough.
I'm gonna get him with this one.
Yeah. Boo. He makes a Pepe Sylvia board in his room. What is he connecting? He's like, my dad worked for Oscorp. And then he's got like Gwen up here and he's like, how do I get her back? Like, what are you doing? You don't even know about Electro at this point. You don't even know about Harry at this. Like, what is this? That shitty fucking needle drop again. For you. Get out of here, dude. I'll set this movie on fire. I don't know how. Find the original film.
The needle drops in this movie plant it firmly in 2014.
Yeah. Year of our Megazord, by the way.
Oh, very good. Because outside of this very explicit window of time, you're not using these songs in anything else.
No. No.
Harry and Peter have a whole conversation about human spider hybrids. Pick a movie.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Make the movie you want to make. You can't make every movie at once.
Right. And like, again, there's like they're skipping rocks and Peter skips his forever. And Harry's like, wow. He's like, yeah, it's all on the wrist. But also then he's like, what do you think about Spider-Man? He's like, I think he's stupid or something. And he's like, well, I like to think he brings people hope. And right there, I'd be like, well, you just skipped a rock like 1,000 miles. You really like Spider-Man. I'll bet you're Spider-Man. You know, like, I don't know. I just feel like I'd put the dots together. If you could skip a rock for 1 billion miles. I think it's funny that every time in this movie, like, Peter will go to Gwen in, like, at Oscorp. And he, like, explains pretty much what's going on in the movie. And she's like, wow, that's a lot. And it's kind of like she's the audience and she's watching this movie. And she's like, wow, you guys got a lot going on here. Like, you pick a thread.
They needed to choose one.
Yeah, well, he like listens. He's like, I'm finding out what the deal with my parents is. Harry's back and he wants my blood. Electro's a factor in all this somewhere. And Gwen, you're going to England? Like, yeah, man, that's just 4 pretty big things going on here.
And I'm constantly seeing your dead father everywhere because of my guilt. It's like, let's go, guys.
Yeah. What do you think about the secret subway with the secret subway tokens?
I don't care. It's their secret lab that his father had or some crap.
What is this, Resident Evil? What's going on here?
Who cares? Let's go. Are you fighting Electro or not?
Yeah.
Because
huge waste of time.
Electro disappears from this movie for like a half an hour. And then all of a sudden he returns. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Electro's the main villain.
Awful. I liked when Gwen sees the spider web on the bridge that says I love you. And she says to the cab driver, stop the cab. And he's like, lady, I ain't moving.
Yeah, I laughed at that. But the subway thing, it's too late to just introduce this lab in a subway.
And does he get anything out of that?
He watches the video of his father talking about spiders, and his father used his blood to mix it with the spider blood. Right. That's why Peter was able to become Spider-Man, but then when Harry does it, he becomes the weird Goblin Man.
Well, it kills him, but he puts on that suit that keeps you alive.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the movie, he's in a jail cell without the suit. So it's like, what's going on?
All of a sudden, at one point, Harry just gets a soul because he's like, yeah, you mean you're trying to hide Max Dillon? And then he like has to take the fall for what happened to him.
Yeah, that's a weird turn. It's like, it's almost as if they didn't know what to do with the character.
We need to have the goblin. No, you don't.
You really don't. You already did it, and it was Willem Dafoe. I don't know if you remember that. Huge. One of the best comic book movie performances, one would argue.
Peter commits felony assault on some guards to help Gwen escape the lab.
Yeah, but he does it in a goofy Spider-Man way, and I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's still assault. You still can't just beat up guards.
It was more a pepper.
Very good.
Thanks, man.
He pours hot coffee on these guys.
Yeah, he does.
Well, they have burns now, dude.
Well, he could have punched their heads off, so they're lucky.
Electro's voice sounds like he smoked a pack a day for 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been traveling like this the whole time.
I can't get over the fact that they got Jamie Foxx and they were like, let's just shit the bed.
Let's make him blue.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, you want to be blue?
He's like, I guess, I don't know.
When Harry gets injected, he immediately feels like the ill effects of it.
Yeah, well, at this point, they're like, oh, man, we're already at 2 hours. Let's go. Let's get this going.
Okay, we're 2 hours into the movie already. All right, we got to pick up the pace here. I don't understand why Spider-Man won't give Harry some of his blood to study. Why not?
Because he knows it'll kill him if he injects it.
But, like, work with him. Be like, don't inject it just yet. Let's work with it a little bit. Because outright telling him no, you should know, he's going to be like, well, I'm going to go do something drastic.
Right. Yeah, he should do exactly what you said. Like, hey, I'm also a scientist. Let's work together. Yeah.
It's a much easier solution because this is a spoiled child who, we even get this note earlier that for his 16th birthday, his father gave him a bottle of scotch.
Yeah.
And the card was super impersonal. It was like, all the best, Norman.
Yeah. But also, like, Norman, when they show him, and he, like, takes his hand, he's got, like, goblin hands. So is this disease that he has, is it just a goblin disease?
It's some autoimmune disease that he has, it's genetic, so he's passed it down to Harry. And he tells Harry, oh, I was about your age when the symptoms started. And wouldn't you know it, during the movie, that's when the symptoms start. Right after he tells him that, he's like, oh, no, now I'm thinking about it.
This follows more of the Ultimate Spider-Man. And in that, the Green Goblin is actually a giant, like, goblin man. I thought they were going more for that. But then they don't. They go for, like, okay, little goblin man, still classic Green Goblin throwing pumpkin bombs. You know, like, it's just very unsure of what it is. It seems like they wrote the Gwen Stacy death and anything that alludes to that in the movie, like even when he's talking to Harry, he's like, I like to think that Spider-Man brings hope. Like, yeah, that's the through line. Like, Gwen says you need to become Hope. Yeah, good. This is decent writing, but around this, like, let's use a web. It's a thin web, right? A line of goodness, and around it is just diarrhea duty. It's just so much. There's, like, thickness around this tiny little line of goodness, and it's awful. But I feel like they wrote that final scene and everything that happens after, the good stuff. I feel like they wrote that first, and they were like, well, how do we get there? And then somebody just, like, took a dump right on the table. It's like, oh, that's how we get there.
There's a very early Stan Lee cameo in this. Is this the earliest Stan Lee cameo in any Marvel movie?
Maybe. Yeah. You can't really top that first one in last week's episode. That's one of the best.
We get a quasi J. Jonah Jameson cameo in this movie. Peter is sending pictures to the Daily Bugle, and he gets an email back immediately that just says, wrong!
Yeah.
Which means that Peter sent an email, and then J. Jonah Jameson hit reply and then changed the subject of the email to wrong.
Yeah. And he did it really quick, too.
Yeah.
Also, the general consensus in New York is very pro Spider-Man in this movie. Everybody's like, oh, Spider-Man's great. Except for the people that he individually talks to, like Harry. And that might be it. But, like, everybody's like, yeah, Spider-Man's great.
Sometimes he tells me no, and that makes me sad. All right.
Yeah.
All right, you petulant child. Go to hell.
Yeah. Yeah, you deserve what's coming to you.
You know what I am looking forward to, though, Andy?
Is it The Amazing Spider-Man 3?
With the Sinister Six? They set it all up.
They sure did, Robbie. They had a guy walk through a hall. Yeah, they had a guy walk through a hall with all this stuff already made. You just put them on. That's the
whole backstory.
Yeah.
They do this thing at the beginning of the movie just to make sure, if you're an idiot, you know what's going on. The truck with the plutonium in it has a warning that's like, plutonium is very explosive. It's like, yeah, we know. Yeah, we know gotcha. Plutonium is dangerous.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing if that kid got turned into ash at the end of that movie.
Yeah, just Rhino put a bunch of bullets in him.
Yeah.
It is interesting to have Rhino have just machine guns and missiles and stuff. That's interesting.
It is more interesting than just a guy who runs through walls. He's not the Juggernaut.
Yeah. Spider-Man's got a few of villains who just run through walls. Like him, Hammerhead. There's probably another one.
Tombstone could probably do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crack. At the end of the credits, it said, be moved. And I said, no.
Yeah, more like bowel moved. This movie made me have to shit.
Very good.
Yeah.
The songs over the final credits are also very bad.
I did not. I fast forwarded to see if there was a post credit anything. There wasn't.
I was letting it play. The first time I watched it, I was just letting it play at work. So.
Yeah, I did not. I did not stand for it.
Andy, you got to take in the full experience.
I sat for it.
I did like when Electro force lightning the truck like he was Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, it was like kind of like a telekinesis thing where he like lifted it. Yeah.
But again, let's do more of that in this movie.
Yeah, it's just like don't make him blue, make him yellow.
Keep him a human being.
Yeah.
I did like Electro when he first becomes Electro and he's like walking and his like dried up skin is like breaking off of him as he walks. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool that he died and then was resurrected by his power. Like, that was cool. Also, Spider-Man straight up murders him, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They overcharge him and then he explodes and he's dead.
Yeah, it was one of those superhero movie finishes where I was like, I don't quite understand what happened there.
Well, it's just
classic. But I guess Electro's dead.
Right. It's classic. Guy has a bunch of power. Well, what if we gave him more power and he couldn't handle? Like, that's such a... Well, it's like a cop-out, man. I'm sick of it.
At one point, Felicia Hardy comes in and she's talking to Harry. And we're very late into this movie. And she says to him, oh, by the way, Venom was extracted and we kept it. This movie was written on the fly, because why wouldn't she have told him that in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you said, this movie is studio notes the movie.
Yeah. They were just doing this on the fly. They had no plan. You could tell they had no plan because Harry wasn't mentioned at all in the first movie.
No.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing to make a movie without a sequel in mind and then make the sequel if need be.
Right.
But you were clearly making the first one hoping to make this a franchise, and you did such a piss poor job of setting up all the stuff in the second movie. You did such a poor job of setting up the second movie with the first movie that I don't care about any of this.
Yeah, and the thing, they could make you care if they made this good, but they did not.
They should have just gone whole hog with it. While I don't care about Peter Parker's parents, you actually spent time talking about them in the first movie. So if that's the main crux of this movie, fine. At least there's a through line and it's not out of nowhere. But all of a sudden, having Richard Parker working with Norman Osborn on splicing the genes of spiders and humans together, miss me with this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Especially when in the first movie he was working with Kurt Connors.
That's true. They totally left him out.
He's not even mentioned.
Yeah.
Harry becoming the Goblin and Gwen Stacy dying should really give a lot of people an idea that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So your best friend is the Goblin who just killed your girlfriend, but you have no relationship to Spider-Man whatsoever.
Yeah. And I feel like they should have given Gwen's mom maybe a line or two. She's just in the background just crying because her family's dying. Maybe have her be like, walk up to Peter and be like, everything you touches dies, you piece of shit. You know, like something. But she's just like, yeah, that's a character that is begging to be written.
Aunt May should be like, you're Spider-Man, aren't you?
She kind of does later. They do a
but
thing
she
that
should
they
outright be like,
yeah. That would be funny.
She should just outright be like, listen, I could tell if Harry's the Goblin and the Goblin just killed your girlfriend and Spider-Man was there, I'm thinking you're Spider-Man. And until I see you and Spider-Man in the same room together, I'm just going to assume you are Spider-Man.
Yeah. But she says something like Aunt May said in like Spider-Man 2, the good one, where she's like, you know, somebody ought to do something about it, if you know what I'm saying. You know, she does one of those. This is a bad movie, yeah.
This makes the first one look watchable.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Neither of these movies should be as long as they are. Neither of these movies should even really exist.
Yeah, they don't bring anything new to the table. I think I already said it, the only good things are when Gwen dies. I think that scene is fantastic. And that everything else is poop-doody crap.
Should we go to Letterboxd, Andy?
I think we should, Robbie.
Follow us on Letterboxd at TheRoydsBand. This movie's very bad. I think the acting is whatever. The story is awful. It looks fine outside of the electro design. Unfortunately, that's a huge elephant in the room, the electro design.
Yeah.
It looks fine. All the special effects are totally fine in this movie.
I agree.
But when you have that...
Well, the design, Spider-Man's design, I think it's the best it's ever been.
Unfortunately, Electro sticks out like a sore thumb. Even the Goblin design is pretty good.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's not that doesn't hurt this movie. But when you see that, I have to take the whole visual effects of the movie have to get knocked down a few pegs because it's like, what were you thinking with that?
Yeah.
And then the story is all over the place in this movie. They didn't know what they wanted to do. So they thought they were going to throw every Spider-Man story they could think of into one movie. I'll be honest, it's probably a good thing they didn't introduce Mary Jane here, because we don't need anyone else in this movie.
Yeah, there's a bunch of deleted scenes with Shailene Woodley as Mary Jane. Well, we gave the first one 2 stars, right? What do you think?
I think this is a 1.5 star movie. I even think the music drags us down. There are a lot of movies that I don't like, but the music doesn't hurt it. The music actively hurts the movie in this one. From those bad needle drops to that weird whisper rapping they're doing.
Yeah. This is a hard watch, man. This is rough. I'd go 1.5. Yeah.
So would I. We just gave The Amazing Spider-Man 2 1.5 stars on Letterboxd. Andy, guess how many stars on Letterboxd The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has?
3.2.
You're looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's outrageous.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of apologists for this franchise. And I think that people are the few good things in this movie and they make it seem like this is a good movie. It's not. Like, I like those good things in this movie. This is not a good movie.
It's a terrible movie.
No.
I wrote a song.
Me too.
I also have a pick to flip.
Flip that. Tails.
It is Tails.
All right, I'll go first. My song is called Become Hope. Is that correct, Robbie?
Yes.
All right, my song is called Become Hope. And I just took her speech and kind of wrote around that because it's a good speech. And I kind of do some reprisals of my song from last week, but in a different vibe. Anyway, it's called Become Hope, and it goes like this.
I promised him I'd stay away, but then we said we'd just be safe, 'cause we're in love, there's nothing in our way. We must be greater than what we suffer. Hold on to hope, always and forever. I can't stop seeing his face. He trusted me, I'm a disgrace. I couldn't win, couldn't keep her safe. We must be greater than what we suffer. Hold on to hope, always and forever. My wish for you is to become whole. People need that so they can I did it again. I did it again. I did it again, but this time worse. I did it again. I did it again, but this time worse. My wish for you is to become whole. People need that so that they can go.
So that's my song called Become Hope.
I like it. I could tell you did the little reprise of your from last week. Do it again, but worse.
Yeah. I just figured he did it again. Like he let somebody die, but this time it was worse. It was his girlfriend. So, yeah. Pretty some emo vibes there, you know. Big time sad boy, you know. But yeah, that's that. Just about how he let Captain Stacy down and Gwen down, and then the chorus is how she rallies him with her speech, and she's like, you know, you got to become Hope. You know, you got to be greater than what you suffer. You know, which is, you know, you could say you got to be. You can't just wallow in it. You know, you still got to be Spider-Man. So yeah, that's that. Robbie, tell us a little bit about your song.
My song's called Gwen. It's kind of like a poppy little 60s pop song. It's about Gwen. Gwendolyn. Gwen. Goes like this. The song's called Gwen.
Nice. I really like those trills you were doing on the keyboard.
Thanks. Yeah, a little fun with the organ, and then just having a good time at the end there. Just wanted to do a fun little pop song about Gwen.
Yeah, you want to have some fun with my organ?
Sure. Send it over here,
penis,
baby.
Robbie. It's my penis.
Oh no! I thought it's gonna be your liver. Is that an organ?
You're a fool. Yeah.
I thought the liver was a muscle.
What are you?
I work out my liver all the time. I do liver curls.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my whole darn life.
Oh.
Robbie, you have anything to say about your song?
Yeah, that was it. It's called Gwen, and it's about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Hey, Electro's now blue. Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good. Well, it's nap time for my son, and he's not doing it. So, Robbie, what do we got going on next week?
Next week, we are doing the absolute masterpiece that is Madam Web.
Wow. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Is it better than this?
It's an incredible movie, Andy.
Wow. I've really only heard good things, so.
Did you?
I'm being facetious, Robbie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you where you can find the music. You go to Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, wherever you get your music. You search The Royds. You got a bunch of collections of podcast songs, as well as studio recordings. If you want everything, you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com. You will find literally every single Royd song, including guest songs, bonus songs, all the songs. And if you want that plus visuals, you go to the YouTube, brother. Robbie, tell the good people a little bit about the YouTube and the socials.
You go to YouTube, you go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, you go to Reddit, you type in TheRoydsBand. There we are. You can send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. If you'd like to request a movie, you can fill out the form. It's in the link below. Or you can just get in touch with us via email, Spotify comments. We got some requests coming down the line, and we like to hear from you. So go ahead and do that. Well,
next week, Madam Web.
Next week, Madame Weeb.
Yeah. We'll see you lady.
Bye, everybody.